They trying to blitz. Get 'em. But I got something for that. hey, it's Gates. Thunder tracks on the beat. And I got quarterback vision. Hut 1, hut 2. Thunder tracks. Just a screw. No huddle offense, penetrate the defense. If the cops come to the hood, hit the back fence. See football in the streets, they both parallel. You play, the Mac will spin you like a carousel. The cops the referees, so watch the sidelines. Cause if you out of bounds, you get more time. And when you see the judge, the gavel, the whistle. And you can challenge to play long as your lawyer official. And when you hit a lick, that's a touchdown. Now we all celebrating on my bus now. The ring's on the way, we the new champs. They love me in the hood, just like food stamps. Ha ha, I see you coming for the blitz. I'll spin on you, I'm on that Cunningham shit. And I'm ready, cause training camp start in June. And since I'm from Houston, I scramble like Warren Moon. I got a line, you need a block.
Smell the gumbo. You're listening to Cajun Sports Radio.
Quarterback vision, you don't want to catch a bullet. I got a line, you need a block. And if they blitz, lay them out. I got quarterback vision, quarterback vision, you don't want to catch a bullet. Okay, I scramble in the pocket like Randall in the pocket. Man, you say you in the streets, but your name ain't on the docket. That's cause you told. Oh no. It's like a
Welcome to Cajun Sports Radio. We are presented by Best Bike ATV. Jason will be joining us possibly in the next hour. I had to start the show between 6 and 6:15 with the contract that we have with Spreaker. So I had to do a show. I don't really like doing shows solo, but we'll do what we can. We do have Skype with the show. So if you want to come on the show, we have it connected through phone lines. We could actually call you through Skype, and you can come on the show and ask questions. And like I said, Jason will possibly be joining us in the next hour. Possibly a couple of other call-ins as well. We'll see what we can do here on this Wednesday. See if I can get us through. Now, you know, Saturday night when Jason and I did the show, when we were talking about the Saints-Carolina game, I said that if we didn't watch defensively, that we could not only have a repeat of what happened with the Redskins week 1, but it could get uglier. And I just seen the defense fall apart Sunday, and I want to say something that a lot of Saints fans might not like, but the Saints have the worst defense in the league from what I've seen. I mean, I watch every single game on Sundays. I watch all the Monday night games, Thursday, whatever. And, you know, I have the Sunday ticket with DirecTV, so I watch every game. And from every team that I've watched so far this season, I know we've only played 2 weeks of football. From the first 2 weeks of the season, we hands down easily have the worst defense in the league. Can it be corrected? Yes. But I can tell you one thing. I'm starting to think that one of the worst free agent moves that we could have made was letting Tracy Porter leave the Saints. That was one of the worst free agent moves we could have made. Because look at what he's doing with Denver. He's breaking up passes. He's jumping in front of passes. He's cutting receivers off. He's doing things that we're not doing. You don't realize how much you miss him. And another guy that we're missing, a lot of people criticized his play last year, including me, is Vilma. Here's a quick stat, people. On NOLA.com, they break down every Wednesday the film study of the game, and they basically break down the whole game. NOLA.com, if you want to go look at it. The Saints gave up 6 plays of 25 yards or more, 11 plays of 16 yards or more, and they came in every quarter of the game. Believe it or not, and if you look at the film and you watch the game, offensively, without that pick six that Breeze threw, oh man, we had momentum at the beginning of the game. We score quick. At the beginning of the game, we're buried inside of our end zone. Breeze is scrambling, throws an interception, pick six. Besides the fact, and here's the biggest problem on offense was key plays once we got around midfield or crossed midfield. We would stall. Similar to what we did with Washington. Washington, we were semi-moving the ball, but we wouldn't run the ball. Against Carolina, we ran the ball well. Pierre Thomas had a real good game. Here, I'll tell you what I'm talking about here. I'll pull up the stats, and the stats look good offensive. We ran the ball well. It's just, we're put in positions now that I don't like. And to me, this week's game looks so eerily, I don't know how to say it. It looks so familiar to what we seen week 1. It's just constant catch-up, and I was really impressed that we didn't give up on the running game as quick as we did against Washington. Hell, Pierre Thomas on 9 carries had 110 yards. That's a hell of a day. Sproles, people don't realize this, he had 13 catches for 130 yards. Two bad passes by Breeze and stalled plays is what got us in this game. Offensively is what got us, it would hurt us. But really and truly, we're not realizing here is offensively we're not that much different than we have been last year, the year before. The fact of the matter is the defense is playing so bad at the beginning of games that it's forcing a lot of pressure on the offense. And it's forcing Breeze to make throws that he doesn't normally make. I thought he acted well in the pocket. Don't get me wrong. Y'all don't realize, we played against a good defense Sunday. Carolina has a great defense, but here's the stats. Total first downs, we had 4 more than them. We had 27, they had 23. We did well on third down. We went 7 for 13, they went 6 for 12. We ran 15 more plays than they did. We ran 77, they ran 62. We got 50 more yards than they did. How many turnovers did we force out of them? 0. We had chances to pick the ball off. We didn't. It's just, it's getting serious. We just can't force any turnovers. What made this team so deadly and so fun to watch and so explosive in 2009 was we did two things very well that will win you championships. We ran the ball well, and we forced turnovers on defense. That alone will win you ball games. That'll win you championships. Let's not forget we also had, the best quarterback in Saints history throwing the ball. But, I'm sorry, we did force a turnover in that game. It was we forced a fumble. That's right. That was towards the beginning of the game when Cam Newton did that pitch. When they went for it on fourth down, and that was that fumble. Yeah, that's right. I mean, we dominated every big stat in this game. But defensively, we gave up too many big plays. I mean, they torched us in the running game. That they did. But that's the main thing. We gave up too many big plays defensively, and on offense, we seemed to stall out at times. We honestly did. In the big plays. But a lot of people are already saying, okay, Kansas City this week, we're going to get off the snub, we're going to win our first ball game. Hold on. We're going against a good defense again with Kansas City. They have playmakers on that team too. They have kind of a similar team as Carolina, believe it or not. Besides, of course, that quarterback. But they have a similar defense as Carolina, or at least they did last year. I haven't really sat down and, I've watched them play, but, they got, you got Dexter McCluster. He didn't practice today, but he could be a playmaker. You got Dwayne Bowe. You got that Arenas guy from Alabama. He can return the ball. He can do a lot of good things for him. They have an explosion. Decent quarterback in Matt Castle. This isn't going to be a gimme game. They have struggled the last 2 weeks like we have, but we got to win this week. I know I said on the show Saturday night that Sunday was a must-win. Now we're in the must-win of must-wins. It sounds stupid, but it's going to be a very big catastrophe at 0-3 in New Orleans. It's, people are diving off of the bandwagon right now as I speak. Man, this is still a good football team offensively. We just have a lot of work to do defensively, and, we have no head coach. It's a bad year for things to fall off. Not only do we not have a head coach, we have a new defensive coordinator who, for what I'm seeing, is doing a whole lot different things format-wise than what, of course, Gregory Williams did. By the way, there is a game on right now on ESPNU, a college game. Kent State at Buffalo. Got a little action on Buffalo at -3. But speaking of, not to go off of subject like we normally do here, but oh well. Still expecting Jason. He should be coming on soon or before the end of the hour. Had to start. I would have waited on him, but contract obligations with Spreaker. Wednesdays between 6 and 6:15 we're supposed to do a show. Start between the hours of 6 and 6:15. Or minutes. This week, if you haven't got a chance, pick up or go look on the computer. Go look at this weekend's college football schedule. It's pretty massive. We have a huge slate of games Saturday again. We had a good bit of good games this weekend. Of course, everybody knows we have the LSU Auburn game at 6 on ESPN. ABC. At 7, you got Florida State, Clemson. NBC, you got Notre Dame, Michigan. Fox, you have Oklahoma, Kansas State. After LSU and Auburn, you got, and this is a game I'm really interested in watching, Arizona State, Oregon. So, yeah, we have a bunch of top 25 matchups. And this will be LSU's really first big opponent. Well, I say that. Some might argue that Washington is at least as talented or more talented than what Auburn is. So we'll see. UL Monroe at home, ESPN against Baylor Friday night. Baylor right now, as it stands, is only a 7.5 point favorite. So yeah, very interesting. And keep in mind, them being on ESPN Friday has nothing to do with what they've done the last couple of weeks. They would have been on ESPN anyway this Friday, but it does come at a good coincidence. They're getting 3 solid weeks of publicity in Monroe, and hopefully they play Baylor pretty well. We've played Auburn well last week, and beaten Arkansas 2 weeks ago. But you realize what the chatter is going to be, though, if LSU doesn't go in and smoke Auburn this weekend around Louisiana, or at least around these parts in central Louisiana. People are known to say stuff like, oh, well, hell, if they only beat Auburn, by 7, well, UL Monroe only lost by this much. UL Monroe could probably stay with LSU, or, crazy things like that. The UL Monroe team does have a very good quarterback. I think that's what makes them so special, but I don't know. But, we have a strong slate and of college games this weekend. We have a strong slate of NFL games. And we really did have a good week of football. Jason and I went 2-2 in the NFL this weekend. I had 2 wins. He had 2 wins. And our pick 'em against each other. What I mean, we only picked 4 games, by the way. We pick all the games, but we only count the 4 games that we go against each other on. And we went 2 for 2 against each other. But I'll tell you what, I was surprised in the Colts Sunday. They played very well against the Vikings. Andrew Luck gets his first win. Reggie Bush just looked amazing against the Raiders. Has a career day. He had 26. This is Reggie Bush now. 26 carries for 172 yards and 2 touchdowns. This guy has looked great in this offense since arriving at. Oh no, he started looking good about midway through the season in Miami last year. And he just fits this offense. Some players fit offensive. I've always said that. Running backs are designed for certain offensive lines. And Reggie Bush fits this team's blocking scheme. Of course, they do have some very good offensive linemen in Miami. But, because they have the Chris Long or Jake Long. They have the center from, they have Pouncey. So, yeah, they're pretty stacked at offensive line. Tannehill didn't look too bad. Cardinals shocked the Patriots. Kevin Cobb didn't blow the game. He didn't do anything spectacular, but he didn't blow it, so. That Giants, and I said Saturday night, me and Jason talked about this Saturday. how well I thought the Bucks played week 1 against the Panthers. They beat them, of course. But they had the Giants. I mean, they were beating them pretty bad for the most part of that first half, and the Giants made a big comeback and won the game. Bucks kind of gave up some big plays late. The main story in this game, and what everybody has been talking about all week, is the end of the game. The Giants go to take a knee. The Bucks rush the line and try to get to Eli. They go at the ankles of the offensive lineman, and the Giants coach Coughlin gets mad at the other coach, Greg Schiano, the new rookie coach for Tampa. And it causes a big, fight. And basically it's been a question between analysts. And it's been about half and half. Some say you shouldn't. It's sore losing. You shouldn't do it. Some say you play, to the end of the game. And to me, the most interesting comment that I heard was supposedly when the NFL, starting around the Super Bowl era, they actually tried to outlaw the knee to where you had to actually run a play. You couldn't just dead ball it. You could just fall on the ball and let the clock run. You actually had to put the ball in motion. And that would really make things interesting, though, if we did, I'm surprised the NFL hasn't looked at that. This might actually make the NFL kind of question that, where you actually absolutely had to run a play. You either had to throw the ball, hand it off. You had to do something. There wouldn't be no giving up on a play, and that's, where we're at with this topic. Eagles, even though they keep turning the ball over, found a way, with Vic making some big plays. Found a way to win and beat the Ravens in a good game. Rams, even though Steven Jackson got hurt, behind the young guy Richardson, still found a way to win and beat the Redskins. That was an interesting game. Sorry if you're hearing breaks. I'm texting Jason right now. Trying to see where he's at. The main thing here with this Redskins-Rams game, Rams actually flustered RG3 a little bit. We seen some, he still didn't play bad. But it was just, the Rams beat Washington and we couldn't. Mainly defense is what it amounted to. They put a little bit more pressure on them and were way better in the secondary than we were, End of the game, Washington's actually driving. Can't think of the receiver's name. Catches the ball, gets tackled, but then gets mad. They're in field goal range to tie it. Gets mad and throws the ball at the defender. And it causes them to get a personal foul penalty, which backed them up out of the field goal range, which really lost the game for them. How about Texans, by the way, roll against Jags? This is a quietly good team. Nobody's talking about them. Good football team. They got a test. They play Denver Sunday. That'll be a good one. Just as we start, and I was wanting to say that the Cowboys win against the Giants was more about the Giants struggling on defense than the Cowboys playing real well. Because they looked terrible, the Cowboys did, in Seattle. And, I have to give Jason credit. He he did say that it is very hard, to play in Seattle and to watch out for this game. He's been to that 12-man stadium, and he has to say that it's very hard. And as we've seen, Seattle blows them out. Wilson didn't play bad. They ran the ball well and really didn't do anything special, just took care of business. Another game, another statement game we'll talk about. And we'll talk about other things as we have our first call-in coming in right after the break. This is Cajun Sports Radio.
Smell the gumbo? You're listening to Cajun Sports Radio.
Welcome back to Cajun Sports Radio. We apologize for the long commercial break, but we're working in our next special guest caller, Coyote Brewette. Welcome to the show.
Hey, my boy, how you doing?
Well, we're doing well. I said a while ago that I know a lot of Saints fans probably don't like to hear this, but I just think we easily have the worst defense in the NFL right now.
Oh, yeah, first thing is dad, Coyote. It's dad. But,
I said that.
Yeah,
I was giving you the proper introduction.
Oh, okay. The defense? We have the worst in the NFL, I believe, right now. It's horrible. It's horrible.
No, we don't. You look at the stats. I pulled the stats up. Offensively, we didn't, we're forcing ourselves to play from behind the whole time. And we giving up too many big plays on defense, and we don't force any turnovers.
Right. Well, that's what I read today, right? You're right about that. They were saying we have no turnover. We can't force turnovers. Interceptions, we dropped how many Sunday? Probably 3, 4.
We can't. And I said a while ago, you look at Tracy Porter, what he's doing for Denver, cutting in front of passes, knocking passes down. I think nobody wants to admit it, but I think one of the worst moves we made this year was getting rid of Tracy Porter. I really do.
Oh, definitely. Oh, yeah. You remember Shane said that, and you said it when it was going to happen. When they got rid of him, like, what? I don't know. The defense got to regroup. I'm kind of, I'm discouraged. It's, I don't know, man. I'm shocked. It's just, I know we talked about it Sunday, me and you, and it's reality. We're 0-2, and it's horrible.
Yep.
I think, no one's fired up. I can tell the way you're doing. No one around here is fired up. We're discouraged. Did we think this was going to happen? But a lot better than this. We figured coaching and all, but this is horrible. It's just horrible. What you think?
Well, right now as we speak, by the way, people are just hopping off of the bandwagon. People are just diving. They're diving.
I'm not me. I'm not. That me and you hang in there. I'm gonna hang in there. But we're just telling the truth because we know football.
Oh yeah, exactly. And you look. Pierre Thomas, your boy. He had a big day.
He did good. Lord, yeah.
Darren Sproles had 130 receiving yards. He had 15 catches.
Very good. Ingram had a good game.
Yeah, exactly. We ran the ball well, Dad. And if you look at the stats offensively, we putting up big numbers, but we playing from behind the whole time.
That's what they said. Looking at the numbers, the score should have been different. We were playing 8 points down, and that's one thing the coach said. And you look at it. We played it, down the whole time. But looking at the stats, we should have won that game.
Oh, definitely. Well, look, looking at, by the way, if you want to read breakdown of the whole game, you can go to NOLA.com and they break down the whole game, every play.
Right. Right.
Offensively, our biggest problem was we would move the ball, and Dad, remember me and you talked about this Sunday. Same thing we did with Washington, Connor. We'd move the ball well, and then all of a sudden, we'd stall. We'd get around the 50. We'd get around the 50-yard line, and that'd be it. We would lock up.
Yep.
To me, defensively, now I know Steve Smith is good. We both know that. We both know he's an animal. But remember that one play, and I can't remember who the defender was. The defender runs the opposite way as Steve Smith, and like you said, leaves Steve Smith completely wide open.
Yeah, that was a blown play somewhere, but you can't do that. That's what it was in the locker room. I can't believe they left him open.
Now, another question for you, and we've kind of talked about this, but I want to hear what you got to say to the national audience here on Cajun Sports Radio. Okay, we both know we got a different defensive coordinator right now.
Oh yeah.
We've lost a lot of defenders. We're not getting to the quarterback. We kind of did at the beginning of the game. What do you think of Steve Spagnuolo so far, the new defensive coordinator?
You want me to be honest with you?
No, tell it like it is. Be honest.
He's horrible. He's horrible. And like I said, this is the second year, and I appreciate the invite on the show. The first show I was a little nervous, but now it's like no problem to me. You know what I mean? I'll say it like it is now. I mean, he's horrible. I say he's horrible, poor fella. I don't know. The stats show there's something wrong somewhere. What do you think about him? I don't want to put the man down all the way because it's only the second game. Again, I'm not jumping off the bench. You know that. Well, it's just we in reality here. There's something wrong. I don't know. Someone answer me. I don't know. I don't know what's wrong.
I think one of the bigger problems is not only do we not have Peyton, but we have an interim head coach. We're missing two coaches.
Yeah, you're right.
Now, we don't have two coaches. Okay, listen to this, Dad. Say if you're a player, not only do you not have, you're being coached by an offensive line coach who, like we've both seen, every time they show him on the sidelines, he's standing there lost, right? He looks like he's lost. Yep. And think of it if you're a player. You have a coach that you don't know, you've never encountered, and you have a new defensive coordinator. There ain't nobody taking charge, and they're putting the whole game on Drew Brees. They're putting the whole game on his shoulders. That's how I feel, and I feel he's fine, and that's why I think we've gotten some of these bad throws. He finds, man,
a lot of pressure, Lane. A lot of pressure on him.
I'm playing from behind. My defense is terrible. I have no coach. It's...
Yep. It's, as we were talking about at work today, they mentioned whatever, the man, the ones that jump on and off or whatever. They were saying that last year when Sean Payton was hurt, remember, with his leg or his, remember his knee or whatever, he wasn't on the side. No matter, he was still in the booth.
Correct.
But you look at it, remember how it changed when he got back on the sideline?
The intensity changed.
Let's see how I can put this. He drives them. You got to have motivation. We have none of that out there. You got to have someone to drive you.
You got to have a boss out there.
Change the play. Sean Payton was doing everything. He was even stepping in. It don't matter. They can say about Greg Williams. He was still stepping in sometime for the defense. He was stepping in. We just have no one. We have no leadership out there. And everybody's putting it on Drew Brees. And you can't do it. You know what's going to happen? What I'm scared of? Drew gets hurt.
Well,
he has no.
Go ahead, Dan.
He has no protection. Something got to change. If not, they're going to tell you what. If we lose against Kansas City, they're 0-2. If we can't beat Kansas City, then we have serious. Probably going to be a long season.
Now, we kind of got scared. You remember, he kind of almost messed his ankle up at one point this week. I don't know if you remember. They had
he went down with his leg. His leg turned. He's lucky, and they piled up on him. That was a scare.
It's coming, isn't it? It's a matter of time.
Yeah, and Daniels was warming up, remember?
Mm-hmm.
Daniels was warming up because I didn't think he was going back in the game. You know, Daniels was warming up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I just think, I don't know, I just can't get no answers nowhere. This week is to be the tale to me.
Well, let me tell you something, and I've already said it. First off, Saturday night, Dad, I don't know if you got to listen to the show. I told Jason, which is terrible, used to listen to every show. I told Jason that if we didn't watch out, I know, I'm joking with you. If we didn't watch out, that we were going to have the same thing, and I told you this before the game Sunday, that we were going to have the same thing against Carolina that we had against Washington if we don't watch out. And if I don't know how you feel, but I thought I watched the same thing defensively like I watched, against Washington.
You're right. Same thing.
No.
Exact same thing.
Let's go back to the beginning of the game. Of course, we watched the game together. We watch all the games together. Remember, we were rolling, Dad. You remember we scored. We were getting to
hard up, ball through it right there to Graham, rolling ball.
Yeah, and remember we forced Cam Newton to fumble when he pitched the ball.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
And then Breeze made that pick six, and I hate to say it, but that changed the whole game, didn't it? When he threw that pick six.
Whenever he threw that pick, that was it. Changed the whole game.
It did. We played from behind. It seemed like the whole time after that.
Yeah, changed the whole momentum. Changed a horrible pass in. We should have never did it. Never did it. And that's another thing. He's forcing too many throws.
I completely
he never
agree.
used to do that. Huh?
I completely agree.
Too much. Again, I think, like you said earlier, it's on his shoulders. He's trying. How about Colston? What's wrong with him?
I have no idea. He don't even look like he wants to be out there, it seems like.
He don't know. No, he signed another year contract or whatever. Now, we miss Henderson. He's hurt.
That's killing us, by the way, I think.
I don't know, Lane. It's just, we have serious troubles right here.
And let me tell you something. I'm going to tell you, like I said last week, I've watched, I watch a lot of football. I watched Kansas City play, and they're not nothing special, but let me tell you something. They got a good defense. They got a good quarterback. They got some playmakers. They got Dwayne Bowe. We're not going to walk away with this game. We'll be lucky to walk out with a win. I'm telling you, this is a good football team.
It's going to be a game. This year, no matter who we play.
God forbid, I probably went too far with that. We lose Sunday. I'm just saying, hold on. What happens then, Dad? 0-3,
Jufini. We get 0-3. Jufini.
Done. You look at the stats now for 0-2 teams. It ain't looking good right now. And look at our schedule, Pop. Look at it. It's not looking good now.
It just gets worse. How about, not change the subject. I want to ask you this. How about Tate Manning? What happened there? Monday night?
He had that bad quarter, Dad, but he turned the game completely around at the end. He made it close at the end. But let me tell you something. You see that Atlanta team? That's going to win the division. I'm going to tell you now. Y'all can get mad, Saints fans, whatever. They're going to win the division.
They tough, huh?
They're stacked. They got a defense. They got some receivers. They catch the ball. They got a good coach. We know how good Atlanta is. Let me tell you something. Our division is stacked. Tampa Bay should have beaten the Giants Sunday. They had the game.
We're in trouble.
We got a division, and we got a schedule that's out of this world.
Oh, yeah. But the same old story. We have a bad year. If that happens, we didn't have Sean Penn. Whatever. It don't matter. You got to get out there and play football. We can't just give up and just throw it away. You got to stay in there and not give up. That's what I'm worried. I'm worried that Sonny's going to tell the tale. If 0-3, if we go 0-3, we in a big bind. They worry about us going to the Super Bowl because they'll be home. The Super Bowl. That's what they said on ESPN. They better worry about winning a game.
Let's just get a win under our belt, man.
Yeah, win a game. We got to get this. We got to get the muck off our back and go with it.
That's perfect. That's perfect, Dad. That's exactly right.
In fact, I ain't talked to Uncle Scott and him. I don't know if they go on Sunday or not.
For the listeners, I just want to go ahead and say most of the Saints games, people, at 12 o'clock are Fox games. But the way it works, when an AFC team comes to an NFC team, what channel is it on, Dad?
Channel 10.
It'll be a CBS game Sunday. So for those of you who are looking around, it's gonna be a CBS game instead of a normal Fox game. So
that's right. That's right.
Just to throw that out there. Now, go ahead, Dad.
We need to do this Sunday too. We've been watching the game here in the house.
Oh yeah, we got to go back in the Saints room.
Well, we got to go back in the Saints room and we got to change our deal here. Something ain't right. We got to go back in the Saints room.
And we got to throw the football around too. We ain't did that yet. We ain't started the season around. Yeah. We got to change. Like you said. Go ahead.
They were saying on the paper today. I don't know if you read it. They got a lot of Saints fans. They're starting to get discouraged and. Already. God dang. We just want you. I'm not taking the season. You know what I mean? We got to get it together.
Oh, yeah. This is the NFL.
I watch it every week, but it makes me mad by people already giving up. You don't give up.
And
I'm telling you the reality here.
Just to give people a aspect of Dad. Dad has been a Saints fan since this team has been winning, through the hard times. We both have.
That's right.
The Aaron Brooks day. I mean, that goes long. It goes further than that with Dad. But we watch because we love football, and we're not dogging the Saints. We're not saying, not that type of fan. We just talking football here. We talking, we just basically this is how we talk, even if it is on the air or not on the air. This is just how we talk.
Yeah.
Now back to Sean Payton, Dad. Real quick. I know it's late and it's a little Wednesday night there.
I like him on Thursdays.
You blow it on them Thursday night.
Yeah.
How, all jokes aside, if Sean Payton, now this is going to be kind of a tough question. If Sean Payton is on the sidelines, Dad, are we 2-0 right now?
If Sean Payton would be on the sidelines?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no.
I think at least 1-1. I think at least 1-1. I think. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said we would be 0-2. I'm sorry.
Oh no,
you
that's
said
fine.
Will we be 2-0?
Yeah, 2-0.
Oh yeah, definitely. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, he'd have changed all that, Lane.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. This is what I think you ought to do. I think you ought to go and buy one of them $20 phones that you could buy and get a free credit card or whatever. I don't understand that. And talk to Breeze, talk to the whole bunch in the locker room, and throw the phone away. That's what I think.
That's my next question.
Some kind of motive. Huh?
You've always been that type of person that's always, the conspiracies type thing. Do you think there's any conversations going on between the Saints and Sean Payton, or Breeze and Sean Payton?
No, because you can see it. Mm-hmm. They ain't winning. Oh no. Yeah. I believe Sean Payton's just so scared. He wants to get this over with.
He's ready to get it over with.
Because they're watching him like hawks. Yeah, he ain't. He's already done. So he ain't gonna blow it more to be done some more. You know what I mean? He's done. So it don't matter. It's over this year.
Oh.
So why risk it? You know what I mean?
And you look at, the thing he promoted before he left was do your job. You remember that? It was his big thing. That's what he said.
That's a big sign. There's a big poster.
Do your job.
Do your job.
And if you think about it, Dad, that means a lot. And we're seeing a lot of not that. We're seeing a lot of missed catches with the receivers, defenders running the opposite way, dumb penalties. We're seeing the opposite of that, Dad, aren't we? We're seeing.
Oh, yeah. And can you imagine, Lane? Imagine that he's watching this. Can you imagine how discouraged he is? You know,
and
I don't want to hear the rest. I don't want to hear nothing about the rest.
No, because they didn't have any,
nothing to do with it. Nothing. In fact, they helped us. Though. They tried to help us a couple of calls. They are trying. But no. You know, that's the biggest thing everybody's saying is the rest. The rest? No, it's not the rest. It's the coaching.
No.
That's our main problem.
Look how weak we are defensively. And we can't get to the quarterback. Mickey Loomis, Dad, some people forget he's not around either.
He's out, too. He's out for 6
You think
games,
that? Yeah, that's it. 8. I got a couple of more questions.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're right. Somewhere around there, Dad. I might be wrong.
Yeah.
Do you think that's making a difference?
You think what?
You think Mickey not being there, you think that's making any type of difference or not really?
Oh, no.
Nah, I wouldn't.
Well, you never know what goes on behind, in the back of the scenes, Lane. And don't tell me you don't go in there during the week and say something to somebody. Now, he's talking to them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, he is.
Do you think it's going to make a difference when that other coach comes back? I don't know why I can't think of his name.
Vitt?
Yeah, Vitt. There you go, Dad. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Good job. When he comes back, you think that's going to make any type of difference?
If they don't do something, it'll be too late. It'll be too late.
You're right. It'll be 6 games, man.
It'll be done. Mm-hmm. That's what they actually at work today. You think he'll make it in when he comes back? I said, but the man needs some help. Mm-hmm. Because if they don't do nothing now, by the time he comes back, it'll be all over with.
It'll be done. It'll be too late.
Oh, it'll be too late.
Now, I said it was a must-win Sunday. I did. I really did. I said Sunday we got to win this football game. I did. I'm talking about this Sunday. And we lost. And now I don't know it's kind of like, okay, what do you say now? This is like a double negative must win. You cannot walk out of the... Dad, how pissed off are the Saints fans going to be Sunday? If I lost to Kansas City. Is there going to be some boos?
You'll start hearing the booing. Then you're going to start, you know what I mean?
You've seen it all before. You've seen it all before too many times. You know what's coming.
Oh, God, yeah. You're going to have, you're going to be so mad, and you have son that's been drinking all day, and it's going to all start right there at the dome, because you're going to have some real Saints fans that are going to get mad at the other one saying something. It's going to get ugly. That's what's going to happen. It's going to start getting ugly right there down Bourbon Street. Yeah, then you got the good Saints fans getting mad at the old Saints fans. You see the bad ones.
That's what you got. You'll have the real ones who know football, who are going to get pissed off at the ones who don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah, then they're going to start booing, you see? Mm-hmm. Typical.
You've seen it over the years. And, for instance...
Oh, Lord.
I've gotten... I promise. I've gotten 3 or 2 messages. One of them said... on Facebook, getting my paper bag out of the closet ready. You don't say that. It's too...
That's what I'm trying to tell you. It already started, you see? It's already started. I hear it at work.
And they love that. They love it. They
love
it.
On that. Uh-huh. Yeah, just to aggravate me.
And here, the next thing is... I bet you that LSU team could probably beat the Saints. That's what's next. That's another thing they like to say.
Oh, yeah.
Now, speaking of that, LSU, you critical, you call it right. You call it right down the middle with LSU. You always have. Mm-hmm. What have you seen good? I know they haven't played nobody yet. They play Auburn, but they not really. What have you seen out of this team? They're number 2 in the country right now.
Yeah, but right now they got a lot of injuries. You seen that today?
We lost Blue.
Blue's hurt, too.
That's going to hurt.
We ain't played nobody. We're going to play Auburn, you know what I mean? But you never know, I don't know. Last year, we all thought, this and that about LSU. LSU's going to be all right. Mm-hmm. It's just now,
Alabama, Dad, what they did to Arkansas Saturday. I don't know if you got the 52 to nothing.
Unbelievable.
They got it. It don't
yeah.
matter, Dad, if it's a freshman. They're playing with nothing but freshmen and sophomores on defense.
They got a coach. That's
They got a coach and a recruiter. You right?
That's right. They have a coach. I'm telling you, a coach makes a difference.
Mm-hmm.
Again, that's the Saints' problem. We have no leadership.
Trying to get you go ahead and shut the show down here. A few more questions. UL Monroe, by the way, Dad, I don't know if you know, they play at home Friday night on ESPN against Baylor.
Yeah.
That'll be
that's three big schools that they got paid.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine how much the athletic department got for three? You got Arkansas.
Dad, how does that work, though?
Huh?
No, go ahead. I'm sorry. I'll ask you when you're done. I'm sorry.
Yeah. In fact, John Bell told me how all that worked. Because he knows more about that with this deal. He said they got Arkansas, they got paid. You got Auburn, they got paid. And you got Baylor. Just the money they made on them 3 games is going to be unreal.
Yeah, but how does that work, though, when they play Baylor at home? They probably don't nearly get as much, though. They're going to be home Friday.
No, I heard they got $500,000 to play Auburn.
Really?
500. Yep.
Damn, that's good. But imagine, I'm sure Arkansas, they came out with a similar. You go to Arkansas and you beat that team, and that game was nationally televised. You get the publicity. Yep. This game Friday night.
More televised.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This Friday, you get that national. Go ahead, Dad.
That's a good coach. Mm-hmm. He's gone. I'm telling you.
He's out of there.
After this year,
he's out of there.
Oh, he's done.
Now they got a good quarterback though. UL Monroe. They got a good quarterback, but they play Friday. They're gonna get that ESPN national game. Nobody else will be playing. They'll have the stage to themselves.
That's right.
Real quick.
That's right.
Last question. Predict the score for Saturday's game and Sunday's game. Give me Saturday's. LSU Auburn. ESPN, 6 o'clock.
LSU Auburn?
Mm-hmm.
Ain't gonna be no high score. Well, yeah. And knowing LSU, they'll score 45 points. Oh, yeah. 45. Oh, yeah. They're like, I say to 10.
Write it down, folks. Yodi's prediction on the LSU game. Saints game, Dad. Now, we got a big one here in New Orleans. CBS, 12 o'clock.
I hate that you've been called. Oh, I don't know, Lane. I hope. I don't believe it's going to be a high-scoring game.
I don't either. I don't.
I don't know why. It ain't going to be no shootout. It ain't going to be no shootout. I think that they're going to play conservative.
Mm-hmm.
But you never know, Lane. What do you think on that one? That one, I don't. I'm just so nervous about the Saints right now. I can't say that because I don't know what's going on.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
We will pull it out.
That's a good.
We will. We have to. We got to pull this out. Somewhere we're gonna pull this one out.
By the way, just quick before we leave, how about your boy Reggie Bush? 200 rushing yards Sunday.
Oh, he did good, huh? We ever had him in fantasy? Yeah, I've seen that. Oh, yeah.
He did really well. And
good.
By the way, once again, LSU, 6 o'clock, ESPN, UL Monroe, Baylor, 7 o'clock Friday night, ESPN, and Saints, Kansas City.
CBS games.
It got a different feel to it, doesn't it? The CBS game. It's got a different. It's a whole nother broadcast.
That's what scares me. But we can't do no worse. So I hope it helps. Seriously, we got, and everybody thinks it's just going to be a run over this Kansas City. No, it's not.
They thought the same thing.
We got to get out there and play. We got to go play some football that we have not done yet.
We got to. It starts. We'll be all right offensively. I think we'll get it together. My main concern is
I'm not worried about that, Lane.
We got to get that defense, man. And you know what? I got to give you credit. And I bucked you. I'm not going to lie. I went against you. And I was telling somebody this at work today. I got to give you hands-down credit. From preseason, you told me, you pulled me to the side, you said, Lane, I'm worried. That defense, what the hell's wrong? And I said, nah, it's preseason. I said, don't worry about it. But you know what? You being the old school fan, you know in football, you've seen in preseason what we have.
Appreciate the invite on that.
It's true, though. You seen it, Dad. Don't lie to me when you seen it.
I've seen it. They would run right through us. Everybody's out, yeah, well, it's preseason. No. I've seen it. I've seen there's something wrong with the defense.
And, you got to go back to, that's where, in my opinion, is you got to look at the coordinator. You know what I mean? Preseason,
that's what scares me.
You got to.
Tell you what, he's catching a lot of, I know he come from the Rams, everybody, but if Sean Payton would be there, maybe he could have did something. You know what I mean? Maybe he could tell him, we got to do something here.
Would you think you ever be a head coach again?
Who's that?
Spagnuolo.
Oh, yeah, he proved that with the Rams. Done. Oh, yeah, head coach. What I've seen? I guess not. In fact, the one that's doing the head coaching job right now, if he'd say something, every time the cameras hit him, he's lost.
He's lost.
He has that mic, and he don't know what to say.
He don't know what to say. Do. And Dad, I wonder if that's why they show the cameras on him. Like, oh, look at this guy. He's not saying nothing.
He's not saying nothing. He looks, and then if you listen to the post after the game, the post game, he finally talks. Our Saints fans are discouraged. We need to do something, man.
Well, he said something stupid in week 1. I don't know if you heard when he said this. He said, well, what do you want me to say? Everybody who wins week 1, they predict to go to the Super Bowl. And everybody who loses, they predict they're not doing that. Well, you heard when he said that? That was horrible.
Oh, God. Yeah, I said it. I heard all that, and I don't know. I don't know. But, Lane, we're going to hang there. My boy, I appreciate you invite me on the show, and we're going to do it again. It's just everybody, Saints fans, y'all hang in there. We're going to pull it out.
Just stick in there. Don't be like the next man and just stop watching them. That's the worst thing you can do. Be a good fan. We're both watch the. If you don't watch the Saints, people, because this is the way I feel about football fans. If you don't watch the Saints because you like football, then you shouldn't watch the Saints. You don't belong watching the Saints. If you don't watch the Saints because you love the game of football, then you shouldn't watch. Don't watch only because they're winning. You know what I mean? That's the way I feel. But Dad, real quick, I know it's late. It kind of started to come out, Dad, that it was Greg Williams that ran his mouth about the whole thing with the bounty. You seen that? It came out that he put that thing about Vilma.
Yes, I've seen that.
It
what
came
you
out.
Think about that?